Hi, everyone. It is me, Sailor Venus, Mina here, and it's me, Artemis here. And today we are going to talk about how Duane got into sail. How Duane got in. We're going to talk about how Duane got into Sailor Moon. Now, for most folks, have been Sailor Moon followers since 9 between 95 YL if you were from the settled land, or 41 Reichs. Even though Sailor Moon itself started in 9 between 92 YL, before that it got started as a funny book. Well, it still is to this day. Now, when Duane was younger, he would have been 11 in 9 between 95 YL, at the time where Sailor Moon, the English one, the Deke one, that everyone in the settled land and the 4-1 Reichs would know of. And he would wake up some mornings, watch it on either UPN or WB or Fox, but mostly UPN and WB. It would have been UPN 19 and WB 22 would have been the ranking, would have been the reckoning of those ones. But those are the ones he watched it from. He'd get up sometimes 5 in the morning, need be even before anyone else got up to go to work or go to learn. So Duane would then, watch Sailor Moon on UPN and WB. But I think he would have watched it on the weekends, because Sailor Moon was on the weekends as well as the weekdays on UPN and WB and 9 between 95 YL. And then later on, Duane would end up, watching it when it was on USA, 9 between 97 YL till 9 between 98 YL. And that's when he would watch the full first following and the full 2-diff following, but not really think anything of it after that. Then he would end up watching it when it was on cartoon from 9 between 98 YL till 2003 YL. Oh, 3 YL though. But he wouldn't really think anything of it. And he didn't watch it as much as he did watch it when it was on UPN and WB and USA. He'd watch it here and there was on cartoon, but not as he did. So then years later, after Deke and Cloverway Sailor Moon had come and gone, and all the dolls were sold off from the shops, and after all the dolls were no longer being sold at Toys R Us or KB Toys or Kmart or Hills or Ames or Walmart or Target or whatever, or Big Lots, I guess, or whatever. Years after, a lot of folks before Viz's Sailor Moon. So one day he's watching, or at least watching, Nostalgia Critic or the old Scaver or the past Scaver or whatever the English word would be for that, and he starts talking about it. Yes, we all know all he really does is just make fun of things and put them down, but really he doesn't, but yeah. So anyway, and that's how Duane got back into watching Sailor Moon full time, into being a Sailor Moon follower towards the end of the 8th month of 2008 YL into the 9th month of 2008 YL. And at that time, you could see the Deacon Cloverway one, on YouTube until Double Right, Daily Motion until Double Right, until Vugon until Double Right, and then on websites like, Anime World or Drawing Show World, and then, watch Sailor Moon on Interweb, before the last one, like SailorMoonTV.com, before they went down for whatever ground, I think Double Right. And then sundry other websites, and this was even before the Viz one. And then once the Viz one came out, yes, he ended up watching that one too. Now, can I go on? Yeah, you can. Thank you, Sailor Venus. Thank you, Sailor Hell World. Anyway, after that, Duane had become a full-time Sailor Moon follower after that. And he started getting all the dolls, or not every single doll ever made by Irwin and Bandai and whatever Great Eastern Glee and whoever's making them these days, but a lot of them. And for being someone who was a latecomer to Sailor Moon, he knew a lot about Sailor Moon. His love for Sailor Moon is as true as anyone else's, though. And yes, in the beginning, he did happen to be gatekeeped by some folks in the Sailor Moon followership who thought that, him liking the Deacon Cloverway Sailor Moon was a no-no. And back then, if you liked the Deacon Cloverway Sailor Moon, then you were not seen as a true Sailor Moon follower. Which, that bullshit, but that's what some of them believed. And then later on, when the Viz one came out and all that gatekeeping went away, and most of it, then he had to deal with bullying, and whatever. We talked about that sundress times. But after that, he mostly has been to Sailor Moon ever since. And unlike many folks, his love for Sailor Moon is as true as any other Sailor Moon follower. Yes, it's true he doesn't have every single Sailor Moon doll ever made by Irwin or Bandai or Great Eastern Glee or whatever businesses make Sailor Moon dolls or squeeze dolls or whatever. And it's true he doesn't got every single film game ever made or every single book ever written and forlayed. It's true. But it does. But he is still a true Sailor Moon follower, like all the others, though. And no one really seems to know why he likes Sailor Moon, or was something about it. And the only grounds that, I'm going to fall over. Wakefulness going to knock me over. Sorry. And the only grounds he can come up with to why he liked Sailor Moon was that, for some other ground, it was getting into something that he may have watched when he was younger, but didn't really think of it. Like he watched it when it was on UPN and WB and USA, but not really that much when it was on Cartoon. It was just some show he watched from time to time and didn't even know the true name of it and didn't really know anything about it, until years later. And then he got into it and been into it ever since. And also meeting other Sailor Moon followers. Yes, some of them were in the doll gathering followership. Some of them were in cosplay followership. Some of them were into doing doll shows or whatever you call this or what we do. And at the end of the day, Duane's love for Sailor Moon was good. Even though he was a latecomer to Sailor Moon and hasn't been a Sailor Moon follower, he has only been a Sailor Moon follower since 2008 YL, which isn't as long as other folks here. Some folks have been into it as early as between 95 YL. When the Deke came out, when the Deke one came out. So anyway, that's how Duane got into being Sailor Moon. And if you like this film, then follow us over here at, Sailor Moon for Life. Don't forget to watch the first film we made earlier this morning, giving Sailor Neptune or Sailor SeaWorld, giving her thoughts on WrestleMania, Wrestle Madness. Don't forget to, rate, share and playlist and thumb up this film. Don't forget to give your feedback, and don't forget to hit the bind or the ring to let us know when the next upload's been done. All right. I, Artemis, and I, Sailor Venus, Sailor Helromina, will see you later. Goodbye. Farewell. So long.